All right, first grade, we are going to review the very special phonogram that we learned yesterday. Can you tell me why that phonogram was so special? Right, it was our first two-letter phonogram. So that means we have to space it differently than our one-letter phonograms, right? We leave a clock space before and after each phonogram that's two or more letters. And what else do we do that's different for a two-letter phonogram from a one-letter phonogram? Excellent. We underline, and that shows us those letters work together to make that sound. All right, so I'm going to tell you the sound. I want you to write it, talking through it while you write it. All right, so our sound is qua, qua. Say that for me. Good. Qua. And where does the first letter in qua start? Very good. Over a space just below the dotted line, touch 2 on the clock. I'll talk through it with you. Curve up, touch the dotted line, curve down, touch 10, touch 8, touch the baseline, touch 4, touch 2, pull a straight line down to the baseline, go below the baseline a space to touch 8, curve in the direction we read and write to touch 4, and pick up your pencil. We need the other letter to go with that to make the sound qua, though. So the next letter starts where? Good, at the dotted line. So we'll pull a straight line down to just above the baseline, curve in the direction we read and write, touch the baseline, curve up, push a straight line up to the dotted line, pull a straight line down to the baseline, pick up our pencil, and excellent, and underline. All right, so you should have your qua written now. I'll write it and talk through it so you can make sure yours looks like mine. So I start over a space just below the dotted line, touch 2 on the clock. Go around our clock, pull a straight line down, go below to 8, curve in the direction we read and write to 4, and lift up our pencil or marker if you're me. Then we'll go at the dotted line, close but not touching, and make our second letter there, and underline. Right, so make sure that your qua looks like mine. Right, if it doesn't, pause the video, cross it out, and rewrite it. All right, and let's write it again. So what are you going to write? Very good. All right, so before we start the first letter, what do we need to do? Excellent, we need to skip a clock space. All right, now find the starting spot for your qua and talk through it with me. Curve up, touch the dotted line, curve down, touch 10, touch 8, touch the baseline, touch 4, touch 2, pull a straight line down to the baseline, go below the baseline a space to touch 8, curve in the direction we read and write to 4, and lift your pencil. Now go close but not touching to the first letter at the dotted line. Pull a straight line down to just above the baseline, curve in the direction we read and write, touch the baseline, curve up to 4, push a straight line up to the dotted line, pull a straight line down to the baseline, pick up your pencil, and underline. All right, nice job, class. So we wanted to practice this a little bit. What we're going to do now is we're going to review our different kind of strokes that we start our phonograms with. All right, so I'm going to point to one of these strokes and I want you to tell me where the starting spot is. Where's the starting spot? Well, first tell me what kind of stroke this is. Very good, it's a short line stroke. And where do we start it? Good, at the dotted line. How about this one? Excellent, it's a tall line stroke. And where do we start it? Good, we start at the top baseline. We always start at the top and go down because it's just easier to make it beautiful that way. All right, what kind of a stroke is this? Good, it's a slant stroke. And where does it start? Good, it always starts at the dotted line. All right, our next stroke is this. What kind of a stroke is that? Excellent. It's a dash stroke. Does this one always start in the same place? If you said no, then you are absolutely correct. Sometimes we start it halfway between the dotted line and the baseline, and sometimes we start it at the dotted line. All right, and how about this one? What kind of a stroke is that? Excellent. That is a clock stroke. And where does our clock stroke start? Good. Over a space, just below the dotted line, touch 2 on the clock. Excellent work, class. So we're going to write our vowels. We talked a little bit about which phonograms are our vowels yesterday. We are going to practice writing our vowels, and we want to be remembering when we write them which kind of stroke they are so that we write them correctly. So the first phonogram we're going to write is a, ah. Class, what kind of a stroke, what kind of a letter is a, ah? Very good. It's a clock stroke letter. Right? So find the starting spot, go over a space just below the dotted line, touch 2 on the clock. All right, tell your pencil how to move while you write your a, ah. And remember, we say it at the end too, after we finish telling our pencil how to move. All right, class, what phonogram did you just write? Good, a, ah. So make sure yours looks like mine. We go around and then we pull a straight line down to the baseline. All right, the next clock stroke vowel we have is ah, o, oo. What are you going to write, class? Good, ah, o, oo. So find the starting spot and then tell your pencil how to move as you write it. All right, I'm going to write an ah, o, oo. Make sure yours looks like mine. Ah, o, oo. So that one just goes all the way around, starting at 2, and back up to where we started. Ah, o, oo. All right, now let's do our line letter vowels. And for this one, we're only going to be using our letters that are vowels all the time. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But the next one that we're going to do that is a short line letter is I, E. What are you going to write? Good. I, E. So we know that it's a short line letter, so where does it start? Good, at the dotted line. So tell your pencil how to move. And then say the sounds after you write it. All right, so your I-E starts close to the last letter and at the dotted line. I-E. All right, our next short line vowel is U, U, U. Class, what are you going to write? Good, U, U, U. So we know it's a short line letter, so where's the starting spot? Good, it's at the dotted line. Right? So find your starting spot and tell your pencil how to move as you write your U, U, U. All right, class, what did you just write? Good, U, U, U. So I started the dotted line. U, U, U. All right. Our last vowel, that's a vowel all the time and never anything but a vowel, is E. Class, what kind of a letter is E? Very good. It is a dash stroke letter. But remember, the dash stroke part doesn't tell us where the starting spot is. So we also need to know the starting spot. Where's the starting spot for our E? Good, it's halfway between the dotted line and the baseline. All right, so write your E and tell your pencil how to move while you write it. All right, so our E starts halfway between the dotted line and the baseline. Make a dash stroke. Go up to 2, the dotted line, 10, starting spot, 8, baseline 4, lift, E. All right, good work with that class. So we're just going to do one more session of review today, and then I will make a read along later today, or read aloud.